Ooh, look at my setup. That's like my little. It used to be my altar space, but now it's just like, Halloween decoration and stuff. Okay, so uh, Brit did ask me for telling the other stories that I was offering earlier, and everything is a little bit chaotic in my brain. I cannot, my memory is not that great, but I try to recall everything as best as I can. Today I will tell you my brother's story. This is the most creepy one, and I really don't want to think about it and I don't want to talk about it because I'm afraid. I mean, I'm not like thinking that just because I'm talking to it, it's coming flying towards me right now, But I don't want to open myself up to negative haunting stuff. I mean, I know I watch a lot of those kind of paranormal investigation videos and stuff, but this is all like from strangers. It doesn't concern me. It doesn't matter what happens to them because, you know. Sorry, my cat is wanting attention, but right now we cannot. So, basically, it started already with them living. They live in a different city, it's more far away from me. And it started with my brother's girlfriend. Her name is Janina. She started to tell me about seeing shadows, like shadows crawling over the doors, over the walls, and that the toilet seat would like make noises at night. Like that was not a good whatever. When she would go into the shower, she would come out and find bruises or even bite marks. Okay. I mean, bite marks, that's a whole different level. That's not like your usual friendly ghost kind of encounter. So it's really creeping me out, honestly. So we have a medium that my mom is a friend with. It's not my medium, it's a different one. And she apparently called Archangel Michael in order to cast this woman out, like the soul. There was a woman that was really evil, and she would always hit Janina with her ring. And this is where the bruises came from. Oh, that gives me the shivers. But anyway, the haunting didn't stop. So whatever was haunting her, when they moved, they took it with them. Okay. And they moved now in the new apartment. It's really nice. It's freshly built. It's like there's no history of any sort, like at least not that we know of. And the children were not baptized. She is not baptized or religious in any kind of way. My brother Simon is baptized because we come from this Polish Catholic family. But that doesn't protect him yet, or so far. Like, it does only protect you maybe so far, but it's not something that can fulfill wonders, right? So, or anyway, I'm not sure. Maybe if you believe in something, then it protects you. But if you don't, then it doesn't. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not an expert here, okay? I'm no expert at all. I'm just telling you how it went. So they moved, and the haunting didn't stop, and it became a lot worse. I tried to recall what they told me. Basically, they would see shadow animals and shadow people, but also shadows that spread and become bigger, like covering the entire walls and stuff like this, no? Like stuff like out of the movies. I mean, I experienced a lot, but never that. Like, I never saw a shadow covering your whole wall or anything like this, no? Um, which for me sounds like it's next level. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, So so lately, it wasn't long ago, and I wish I could actually show you his frightened uh, WhatsApp voice messages that he sent me at night, but they are on my phone, first of all, and I'm recording on my phone right now, so I cannot. And also, it's in German, so you may don't understand anything anyway. But I can basically tell you what he told me. He started to have the worst nightmares. Not really night terrors, not like waking up and seeing something, but nightmares. And in this nightmare, there is like a ghost woman that is telling him, they are coming. They are coming for you. You should have never taken this home with you. You know, like this. Oh, I get goosebumps all over. Oh my god. And he doesn't understand what she means. You know, like what? What could? Is it an object? Is it maybe a cursed object? You know, like because we know that energies and entities can be attached to any sort of whatever. It can be a toy. It can be a picture frame. You know, it can be anything. And he thinks that he might have something from a flea market, but he cannot recall what it is. He said, if I see it, then I will know, but I don't know where it is or what it is right now. So I don't know if anything so far happened, but he would send me creepy voice messages on WhatsApp at night, and he would tell me, like, crying, sobbing. Okay, like my brother Simon is more like the strong type of guy, the bully guy, the one who bullies others. He's not the one crying, you know what I mean? Like he is strong and much more of the ego guy, not believing in anything, you know. He was always dismissing everything. So he did not also not really experience much in our old home. So he was never really on that side believing in anything. And he reached out to me asking me if I know anything, like even if it's like witchcraft spells or whatever, about getting rid of it. You know, like he says, I'm seeing this woman standing behind my balcony, and you need to imagine. You go through the living room and there is like the balcony door, and behind the balcony there is a big bush. You know, there's a big bush. No one can go there. You know, it's one of those not raspberry, blackberry bushes, you know, with like thorns and everything. Like it's so full and so dense, no person can ever crawl in there or stand there. But he says that he's seeing her standing there staring into the apartment, you know. And he is also dreaming about her, and she's the one saying stuff to him like this. And he said he would have extremely frightening kind of nightmares, really brutal, like extremely brutal, like probably the most snuff kind of brutal, you know. We're talking about the worst nightmares you can possibly have, and he is having those. And Janina believes that she is the one being haunted, but I believe it's maybe my brother, because he is very negative. Like, if you think I'm negative because I dress in black, no way. He is like, as soon, he's basically unlucky. He's unlucky with everything he does. He tries. He had his own painter. He is a painter. Like he can like paint your walls and stuff. And he had his own company. Went broke. Now he's indebted. And oh Meek, oh my cat. Everything he does, everything he tries, everything fails. They have problems constantly with money. Now they have problems with the job center and stuff like that. Like he is always so negative. He always wants to break up with the girlfriend, or thinking about just throwing everything, you know, throwing everything, like giving up on everything. My straw just moved in my glass. I hope I touched it, but okay. Maybe I'm just creeping myself out here, because I'm not haunted. I know that. Okay, so he is the worst negative person you will ever encounter in your whole life. Okay, that's all I can say. And there must be I mean, I'm not saying he has no reason to be negative. He does. I mean, we come from an abusive household. My father was treating him even worse than me. Like, he had it the worst, you could say. So he is broken in some kind of way. And he never had much, even though he was bullying others, he was always bullying weaker, of course. You know what I mean? Like, he would be bullied by my father and carry it out on weaker people. So I know that something isn't right with him. Something in him is so deeply broken that no one can fix it, I think. But anyway, so of course, what did I do after I got those really scary WhatsApp messages of him sobbing hysterically, that he just saw things and whatever, and it's so creepy, creeping him out, and he's shivering in fear and all of that. I texted my medium, obviously. I said, Jutta, listen, this and this and this. I sent her all the voicemails, and I said to her, what is that? What can we do about that? And she told me to send him certain herbs. Wait a second. Sneaky. Aw, she's squeezing herself into a little tiny cardboard box. Meow. Stop. I'm filming. So, she told me to send him a mixture of different herbs. Of course, sage was involved. Incense, like the one they use in church. I'm not sure how you say that right now. Other herbs were involved as well. So since I still have all my witchcraft stuff down there in the counter, maybe I can show you. Over here, there are lots of little bottles with like a lot of stuff left. So I had basically everything on hand. I crushed everything up. I sent him this letter, and I wrote a lot about raising his vibration. My medium said he has such a low vibration that he is basically collecting those negative entities. He is calling them. He is like attracting them with his negativity, and he needs to raise his vibration. And that means, for example, being thankful every day, having a gratitude journal, thinking positive thoughts, like pushing negative things, replacing them with a positive mindset, like all of those kind of things. I wrote him a really big letter, okay? I was so really caring, I really wrote all of this. I wrote him instructions of how to smudge his house and the mirrors, and going with a white candle around each mirror and window and door, because that's a really strongly protective ritual that you can do if you feel unsafe. And I'm doing this too in my house. So I told him everything. I sent this letter, like with burning coals and everything, like I sent him everything. And on the 2 days later or 3 days later, he told me they don't really have like shelves on the walls yet, so they schmeek. She just started to chew on something disgusting, whatever. So like this morning I gave her a piece of cheese, and I put it on the table, and now of course after a few hours it started to become like waxy and old, and she's still like licking on it and stuff. Whatever, I should have thrown it away, but whatever, that's not the topic. He told me that he put the letter onto the windowsill, and the babies, which are not really babies anymore, they can already walk, they ripped the letter into shreds, into 1,000 pieces, he said, before I could even read it. And so now I'm wondering, actually, if something was influencing the babies to do that, so he couldn't read the letter and all the instructions, So he smudged his house with the stuff that I sent, but it didn't really do much. And I told him what to think, what to say, what to imagine when he does that, but he doesn't believe in anything, so he can smudge as all as he wants. uh, if he's not having the right mindset and knowing what he's doing and why he's doing that, and it's pointless, in my opinion. The hauntings didn't stop. He would still see her, and now the babies start to see her too. And they are hiding in the kitchen and saying, "Papa, I don't want to go because she's standing there." Creepy shit. So the children are now baptized, and I also made sure to give them like crosses and shit. But like I said, if they are not stopping to be this negative and to feeding those entities, then it's no use. You could hang your whole walls with crosses, but that doesn't do shit. So I really try often to tell him how to become more positive, but since he's not a believer in anything and also not into spiritual stuff, I can talk to a wall. Like, if someone is not listening, then you cannot help them. No matter how hard you are willing to. But so yeah, the haunting is still going on right now, and my medium and we try to tell him certain things, especially not giving those entities any power. Like, as soon as you acknowledge them and being afraid of them, they are feeding off your fear, and you give them the power to exist around you. And she said the first thing, or the most important thing, is don't be afraid. That's basically the and also don't act violent against them. Like, if you yell at them to piss off, it makes things worse because they're also feeding on your anger, right? So one time she told me to just send them love and send them away with love, and asking them to please leave, and it seems to work in my case. But like I said, there's never any really evil in here. Sometimes I'm just reading and I'm like feeling like a presence, and I'm like, dude, can you please leave because I want to be alone right now? And then it goes away. Like, I'm not getting angry or forceful anymore, even though it did work in the past sometimes. But I don't want to. Everything is about a high vibration and love, and letting go of this shit. Like, I know it's not easy. The universe likes to make things as hard as possible for us, in order for us to overcome those things and grow stronger and learn our life lessons. But some people break, or they think they would break during those times. I have a hard time myself too. The universe seems to do everything it can possibly do to make my life miserable. And I cannot even be happy about something, because as soon as I'm happy, something else happens that is the opposite. You know what I mean? Like, but I finally understood that this is my mission, and I have to overcome all of that. And I just stopped expecting good things. Like, I'm just kind of living minute for minute and just see what happens. Because the more expectations you have, the more crushed you are when it doesn't happen. As soon as you let go and just let the universe take over, the things that are supposed to happen will happen naturally. That's very important, but many people do not understand this. This is why poor people will always stay poor, because they are constantly complaining and putting out this negativity all the time and attracting negative things that are, then staying there and haunt them. So whatever you do, please stay positive, okay? Don't get haunted.